You made it back. Awesome. It's a little warmer in here today. Well, welcome everybody to our third and final performance. We're glad you're here. It's not as cold as it was yesterday. Today it's just like the refrigerator temperature, which is fine. Not like the freezer, but like it was yesterday. But we appreciate you coming out and supporting these young actors as they take on the first time ever that we've done a play, non-musical, in any of our groups, whether it be the Auburn Community Players, Auburn Junior Players, or the Auburn Community Teen Players. First time that there's no singing and dancing going on. So I guess they're kind of pioneers this weekend, so we're excited about that. Programs, if you got a program on the way in, we don't have to recycle because we don't need them anymore. Take them home. Grab a couple more on the way out so we don't have to recycle them. Recording devices, cell phones and such, just pretend that you are in 1888. There were no cell phones. So please put them away. If you want to get a picture of your favorite actor afterwards on the stage, we can let you do that. But during the show, we ask if you don't, because we don't want you to be, we don't want you to miss anything. So, phones away, set up phasers on stun, as I say. I think that's about it. You guys ready? Yeah. I don't know, there's a few more of you. I know it's not a big audience, but there's a few more of you. You guys ready? Yeah! Actors are ready. I'll see you later. Thank you. Folks, sit back, relax, as the Auburn Community Junior Players present Sherlock Holmes. I get it wrong. What she said. Let's go.
Yesterday. I said we go to the market and steal some more food.
Not today. Peterson is on duty. He watches us like a hawk.
Oliver and George close our office and distract him while we get bread.
Why don't I always have to call them, sir?
I'll do it.
No, we did that last time. Constable Peterson would not be tricked by that again.
Then, Wiggins, what do you suggest? Sit back, do nothing, and just starve?
I'm really hungry. Don't worry, I have a plan. What is it? I go to the pawn shop and sell this.
A gold ring? Is it real?
Well, it's a week.
You're the best, Wiggins.
How do want to bore you with this story.
Tell us!
Calm down. I guess I'll tell you the story. So this is what happened. Last night, I was out making my rounds, making sure it was safe.
Couldn't get to sleep was more like it.
Hush, Toby. I was checking the bins to see if there was any edibles we got when I heard running boots on the cobblestones. I couldn't hid in the shadows.
'Cause you were scared.
Because Wiggins is smart.
Because I was looking for an opportunity for my hiding place. I quickly saw one just as me running into the street. What was the rich gentleman doing around here late at night? Exactly right, Stan. The bloke had had a fast foot around. Probably never seen us getting it robbed.
Or running away from someone.
He looked into the darkness and absentmindedly patted his coat pocket, checking to see if the valuables were still there. I hope so. Then I snuck out of the shadows and bumped into the bloke. Bad one, mister.
What? Get away from me, street urchin! I have nothing for you!
The kind gentleman did have something for me. The gold ring from his pocket.
I don't believe you, Wiggins.
Then how did you get that ring?
He probably found it on the ground.
Wiggins stole it. He's the best pickpocket in London.
Then you should prove it. I dare you to pickpocket someone right now, with the constable still making his rounds.
Don't be Jack. If he gets caught, I'll do it. You don't have to prove anything, Williams. Choose him up, Toby.
Pickpocket that old bloke. Does this come out of the tobacconist?
He looks like he has money. Fine. Watch and learn. Good luck, Wiggins. 1,000 apologies, mister.
This urgent bothering me, sir. Not at all, Constable. I just wasn't watching where I was going. Thank you for your help. Nice try, Wiggins. Nobody mind. You get your way on my watch. Turn out your pockets.
Anything you say, Constable Peterson.
Looks like I ride for Fergus Station. Now get out of here and leave the respectable people alone.
As you wish, sir.
Too close.
I knew you couldn't do it.
You did it! You did it!
See, Toby, Wiggins can pickpocket anyone. Toby, why don't you go make yourself useful? Go scrounge around the things and see if you can find any food for us. I'll pay for spa guides.
Fine.
Please excuse my brother. When he gets nothing better, he said he can be really nice. It's been rough for us. It will be easier for you two now with us. They're safety in numbers. Thanks. I'll go keep Toby company.
Wiggins, take a look at this. How much money did we get?
Nothing. It's fake.
There's handwriting on the back. What does it say?
I can read. It says if you wanted your ring back, go to 221B Baker Street.
Ring? That old gentleman pickpocketed your ring while you took his fake money.
He knew you had the ring.
Who did you just pickpocket?
Whose ring did you steal last night?
You have to get it back, Wiggins.
I will. It's a trap. I don't trust that old gentleman. I don't either. I don't trust any adults. The ring is gone. Let it go, Wiggins.
It's not fair. That old bloke doesn't need money. Not like we do.
It's too dangerous. Nobody takes advantage of us. I'm going to 221B Baker Street.
Yes, Miss Hudson? This dirty child showed up at the door, demanding to speak to the man of the house. What's your name, young man?
Wiggins, you live here?
I do. My name's Dr. Watson.
You're not him. Anyone else live here?
What an utter lack of manners. Shall I show him out? No, Miss Hudson. Wiggins is correct. Someone does live here. But he's out for the morning. Excuse me, sir. What are you doing? I live here. You do not. This is a private residence and I did not let you into. I just need to find my... Get out! Mrs. Hudson, I do appreciate your diligence in monitoring visitors to the flat. Oh, Holmes, you gave me such a start. You are everything I could ask for in a leopard. You will be the death of me yet, Mr. Holmes. You have a visitor. This is Mr. Wiggins.
I came to get my ring back.
It's not your ring, and my need for it is greater than yours.
It's my ring. mother gave it to me.
No, you sold it off another gentleman last night.
Just give me back my ring or call the police.
The police are already on their way.
You're trying to frame me.
No. Sherlock Holmes is a private investigator. The best investigator of all of London.
Watson, you do flatter me, sir.
Sometimes Scotland Yard asks him to help with crimes that they have abandoned as hopeless.
I don't help the police.
I'd rather not be Wiggins. It would be a waste of time to have to track you down all over again.
Right, mister. The minute I leave here, I'll disappear among 4 million people in this lousy city.
Actually, young lady, I would just go down to the empty old Bengal warehouse on Charterhouse Street, where you and your group of orphans sleep at night.
How long have you been spying on me?
I haven't been spying on you, Wiggins. I assure you, I just met you this morning in Kirby Square when you exchanged my note for this ring.
Then how do you know so much about me?
I simply observed and deduced. It is what I do. Your clothes are ragged and dirty, therefore you are obviously poor. You take my pocket, which is how you get enough sustenance to live on the streets. You are well known by Constable Peterson, therefore you sleep near Kirby Square. Also, your clothes smell like fish. Not 1 mile from Kirby Square is the abandoned old Bengal seafood warehouse, which would be a dry and relatively safe place for a young group of resourceful orphans to sleep at night.
How do you know Wiggins is a young lady?
From the way she moves, it is obvious she is binding her chest to hide her gender. She finds it easier to survive on the streets if others think she's a boy.
Impressive, mister. So, what do you want with me?
I need you here to finish the case. You are the witness who can connect Jefferson Hope to this ring.
Who's Jefferson Hope?
The man who stole this ring from. I do believe that is Mr. I do believe that's Mr. Hope. Wiggins, if you'd be so kind to hide yourself in view until I call for you. Yes, Mrs. Hudson?
Miss Sawyer to see you, Dr. Watson. She is answering your advertisement in the paper.
A woman?
The plot begins. Please show her, Mrs. Hudson.
Ah, you must be here for a newspaper notice.
Ah, yes, good gentlemen. A gold wedding ring found on Aldersgate Street. It belongs to my daughter Sally. She went to a circus last night.
Is this her ring?
The Lord be thanked. That's the ring.
Here's your ring, Mrs. Sawyer. It clearly belongs to your daughter, and I'm glad to be able to restore it to the rightful owner.
I am very thankful for your kindness and honesty. I won't take up any more of your time.
Oi! You aren't going anywhere.
Wiggins! My apologies, Miss Sawyer.
That is no woman. I saw her Adam's apple. This is the bloke I bumped into last night in Public Square.
What is happening?
Ah, Inspector Lestrade, you got my note.
Inspector, I am being imprisoned against my wishes by this man.
Sherlock Holmes. What is going on?
Inspector Lestrade, meet Jefferson Hope, the murderer of Joseph Strangerson.
Mr. Holmes, how did you find me?
It is what I do.
Ah, yes, Holmes. I concur with your conclusion after examining all the evidence. I, too, had discovered the culprit was this Jefferson Mope.
Hope.
Yes, Jefferson Hope. Even though I was about to arrest Mr. Hope myself, I do appreciate your help, Holmes. Jefferson Hope, you are under arrest.
Inspector Lestrade, I believe you will need this wedding ring as evidence.
Of course, Holmes. Perhaps I will return here later so we can compare notes on the case.
As you wish, Lestrade. As always, I am at your service.
That inspector would have never solved that mystery.
No, he wouldn't have.
Why are you letting him take the credit for the capture?
What do I care for attention and credit? Give me problems. That is what I hunger for.
And what about payment?
Mr. Holmes has been given enough rewards from faithful clients that he doesn't have any to worry about money.
You're a strange bloke, Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
And Wiggins, you are a great help on the case.
You have earned a nice warm lunch today.
and a shilling as payment for your assistance. After you eat, you can be on your way.
Holmes, you cannot just let her live on the streets.
Why not?
It's not safe, nor healthy for a young woman to be living on the streets.
I can fend for myself, Doctor.
I'm sure you can, Wiggins. However, wouldn't you prefer to go to an orphanage where you have a roof over your head and 3 meals a day?
I'm not going to any orphanage.
What about a workhouse? You will learn how to trade and you have medical care.
You mean they'll give me a stupid dress and teach me how to be a maid? No, thank you. I'm not serving stuffy rich blokes.
I'm sorry, Wiggins. We can't just let you live on the streets.
Why not? There are thousands of other children living on the streets.
Here you are.
Thank you, Ma'am.
Mr. Holmes, you could learn some manners from our young guest here, if not proper eating habits.
What are you going to do with her?
Her? We should get her cleaned up and put her in a proper dress.
I don't wear dresses.
She can come here every day and learn how to read and write from you, Miss Hudson.
When would I have time for that?
I want lessons from you.
From me.
I could learn a thing or two about being a detective from you.
What should I teach you?
You should hire me and my friends. Nobody knows Las Vegas.
Interesting.
And we can hear and see things you can't.
I see.
We're sharp as needles too.
It's true. If you hadn't tripped that bloke, you may have run out of here. But you undoubtedly saved me quite a bit of time, Wiggins. I did have a carriage waiting. You, as I said, did save me quite a bit of time.
So we have a deal?
I agreed to train you, but only on a trial basis.
Great, let's begin. Teach me your tricks on how to pickpocket. You're bloody good.
That hardly seems like the type of schooling a young lady needs.
Wiggins, Sherlock Holmes is not going to teach you how to be a better criminal.
No, Wiggins. Your first lesson will be tomorrow. Mrs. Hudson will teach you reading.
Then she would do 2 hours of chores.
Oi, I'm not signing on to be your servant.
You will need to learn to read notes, street signs, and clues. And you will need to pay Mrs. Hudson back for her time. I understand that you want to learn to be a detective. So, after you do your lessons and chores to Mrs. Hudson's contentment, I might give you your first lesson in being a detective.
Mike, what kind of deal is this?
I don't think you've given the work. You have to earn my trust.
Oh, I can work hard, mister. I'm just not stupid enough to work for free.
Fine. Thank you for your help on this case, Wiggins.
Another bony bloke trying to take advantage of me. Never trust adults.
I'm afraid that's the last time you will see of her. She is too mistrusting.
I don't know. She might be stubborn enough to return. What do you expect, Mr. Holmes?
There isn't enough information to make a conclusion. We'll just have to wait until tomorrow to see.
Wiggins, you're back. Wait, Wiggins, tell me about some bread and apple cores in a bin.
We scrape off the mold. The bread is very stale. Toby and George also found us some more newspapers.
I know they lay on top of Hope tonight as well.
Did you get the ring back?
No.
Of course not.
Don't worry. We'll just be fine.
Something better tomorrow.
No, a detective.
You're lucky you weren't arrested, Wiggins.
You didn't get the ring, but something else. I asked him for a job.
Abandoning us the second you have the chance.
You're leaving us? I offered to hire all of us.
Did he hire us?
Maybe. What do you mean? He offered to start training me to be a detective.
discovered.
That sounds like a fair trade.
Don't do it, Wiggins. Dave does. Sticking in numbers.
We need you, Wiggins. I'll be back each night. I just need to be done in a day.
If you take the job.
A cleaning job in a posh flat. You can nick a lot of valuable stuff for us.
And ruin this opportunity.
And sell it to take care of us.
That's dishonest.
That's survival. That rich old man will miss a few things, make sure the blokes don't take advantage of.
Do you trust the old man? No way. Wiggins just met him.
What if he's honest? This could change everything.
We're better off without any stuffy old bloke.
If you stick with us, you'll be safe.
I don't know. Things are getting tougher. Weather's getting worse.
Maybe change is a good thing. What are you going to do? I'm going to do what I need to do to take care of us. All of us.
Yes, Miss Hudson?
Young Miss Wiggins is done with her lesson, chores, and lunch.
Congratulations, Wiggins. You should be rewarded for your dedication and hard work.
So, I did my own toboggan, and now it's your turn. What are you going to teach me today?
Today's lesson will be on observation and deduction. You can learn a lot about a person from the items they carry with them. For example, let's examine the watch in your pocket.
You have a pocket watch?
It was given to me by my father. It's my one token to remember him.
When did your father pass?
When I was young, I barely knew him.
Then let's see if we can learn about him.
What do you know about my father?
Your father was left with good prospects, but lived for some time in poverty, with occasional intervals of prosperity. Finally, taking to drink, he died. That's all I can gather.
How'd you know of that?
Here's my lens. Tell me what you see, Wiggins.
There are 4 numbers scratched on the inside of the cake.
How did they get there?
Pawnbroker scratched numbers off the ticket onto the cake.
Inference that your father was often poor. Secondary inference that he had occasional bursts of prosperity, or he would have not been able to buy back his watch. What else do you see?
There are thousands of scratches around the keyboard, which means my father had an unsteady hand from drink.
Exactly. Each night he was challenged to wind up his watch.
Holmes, I never told you about my own father, but Wiggins, it seems like me and your fathers were oddly similar.
That is because I was describing your father, Watson. Wiggins, please return the watch to Dr. Watson, the rightful owner.
Dr. Watson, you must be mistaken.
Don't argue. I saw you pick Dr. Watson's pocket during your first visit.
I brought it back. I was going to return it.
Like your story.
I will not tolerate any more thievery, Wiggins.
I made a mistake. I didn't know if I could trust you.
And we don't know if we can trust you.
Don't throw the chance away, Wiggins. You show potential.
Yes, potential to be detective or a clever criminal. We shall see.
I'll be back now, Mr. Holmes.
Yes, Miss Hudson?
Mr. Holmes, a gentleman to see you.
Allow me to introduce myself. You're Mr. Jabez Wilson.
How did you know that?
You run the pawn shop. I've seen you working there. My advice to you, cleaning and such. You also hired a new assistant.
How did you hire him?
Through an advertisement.
Wiggins, we should go.
Not yet, Mrs. Hudson. I'd like Wiggins to stay to continue her lessons. Have a seat, Mr. Wilson. Continue with your story.
It all started 2 months ago when Mary noticed an advertisement in the paper. I wish I were on drive ahead.
A lifetime of folks making fun of you. It would be worth it for this opportunity. What are you two going on about? Did you see the notice in today's paper?
There's an opening for the League of Red-Headed Gentlemen. Pays £4 a week. You'd have to apply by Monday, Mr. Wilson. I would if I were a redhead.
I could man the shop where you were working for them.
Why would someone want to pay you just because you're red-headed? I didn't know.
So you applied at the League of the Red-Headed Gentlemen?
I did. I was much competition for the position. After a long wait, I finally went into the office for an interview with Duncan Ross.
Mr. Jarrett Wilson, you look admirably suited for this position. You will excuse me for taking an obvious precaution. We have to be careful. We have twice been deceived by wigs and once by paint. You have the most exceptional head of red hair I have seen today. The job is yours. Do you have any questions?
What are the hours?
10 to 2. You have to be in the office the whole time. If you leave, you forfeit the position.
I should not think of leaving in the work.
To copy out the encyclopedia word for word.
Why would the lead red-headed gentleman pay me for that?
Our legal founded by an expensive American millionaire, Ezekiel Hopkins. He set up his will to provide easy positions for red-headed men. I would take myself if I were red-headed. Will you take the position? Of course.
Thank you. Mr. Ross, should I start with letter A?
Absolutely. I'll be back to check in on you.
Your case is quite unique and extraordinary.
They didn't really pay me, did they? They did. Each Saturday, Mr. Ross brought down 4 gold and silvers for my week's work. It was the same the next week and the week after.
If something seems too good to be true, then it is too good to be true.
Was Mr. Ross there every day?
No, I only saw him on Saturdays, but I never dared to leave the office for an instant.
Your case is an exceedingly remarkable one, and I shall be happy to look at it. But first, a few questions. How long has Mary been working for you?
3 years now.
And the new assistant?
I hired Vincent Spaulding 3 months ago. I could not wish for a smarter assistant.
How did you hire him?
Through an advertisement.
Was he the only applicant?
Nah, he had a dozen.
Why did you hire Spaulding?
Because he was handy and would come cheap.
At half wages, in fact.
Yes.
When did the advertisement of the League of the Red-Headed Gentlemen appear?
November 15th. I remember reading the notice. Today is Saturday, so I would expect to have an answer to this adventure by Monday at the latest.
Much obliged, Mr. Holmes.
That bloke isn't getting this job back, is he?
You are correct, Wiggins, but we need to find out the reason Mr. Ross needed Mr. Wilson out of his shop for 4 hours each day.
What are our 4 steps?
What do you think, Wiggins?
We go to the office and see what we can find out about Miss Duncan Ross. Then let's find out about the assistant who works for half wages.
Exactly, Wiggins. The game's afoot.
Here's the office of the League of the Red-Headed Gentlemen.
Mr. Big Richard is gracing us with his presence.
Lay off, Toby.
Why? Well, we're still on the streets. We're going to be spending all this time with stuffy blokes.
I'm trying to get all jobs and money so we can get more food.
We understand, Wiggins.
Toby, what are you doing to help us out?
Is this Sherlock Holmes?
Mr. Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson, may I introduce my gang? The smartest, toughest street urchins in London. This is George, Lucy, Anna, Toby, and little Olga.
But we're getting bigger every day.
Well, this must be cool.
We're a bunch of irregulars and proud of it.
So are you working on a case, Wiggins?
We are. Some played a big joke on Wilson, the pawn shop owner.
What a dope, and I've got some bloke play for a fiddle.
Really? What if we're a master criminal? A master criminal? Wow.
Let's not jump to conclusions, Wiggins. Let's see where this mystery leads us.
Now, if you will excuse us. Wiggins, perhaps you need some to stay here.
Why?
The landlady may be wary of me talking to you.
Just because we're children doesn't mean we don't know how to talk to people.
Well, with your, wagon parents, she might not trust you.
Just because we're poor don't make us criminals.
Honest business folk are more comfortable talking to well-dressed men.
Don't Maybe what we can do, mister.
Wiggins, you had better observe from here.
May I help you?
Excuse me, ma'am. Do you know what happened to Mr. Duncan Ross in the League of the Red-Headed Gentlemen?
Never heard of them.
If you didn't know them, then do you know how you can get a hold of Mr. Duncan Ross?
I know nobody by that name.
Mr. Duncan Ross and the League of the Red-Headed Gentlemen were renting out number 4, and we need to ask him some questions.
I'm sorry, I can't be of help.
If you don't know Mr. Duncan Ross, then can you tell us the name of the gentleman who's renting number 4?
Nobody's rented number 4 all year.
Surely you will recognize Mr. Duncan Ross with his flaming red hair. He came in for the last few weeks.
You have the wrong address.
Well, that was suspicious. I think the landlady sent out the rules. Hey, what are you two children doing over there? Get back here right now.
I cannot make the investigation any worse than me. Just watch.
Stop all this, no use.
What?
Sorry, didn't want to bother you, ma'am.
What's wrong, dearie?
Our daddy lost his job.
Bless your heart.
It wasn't even our father's fault. Our younger sister was sick and our father stayed home to take care of her.
And he got fired because of that?
Do you know my father? He's got bright red hair.
I saw him coming every day.
He's very punctual and a hard worker. I'm gonna give that boss a piece of my mind. No, we're going to explain the situation and try to get father's job back. Father was too proud to give an excuse for being late.
Let me in. The young man has nobody in there.
Do you know we can find the boss then? We don't even know his name.
His name's William Morris. He moved out yesterday. He was using the room as a temporary office until his new premises are ready.
Where is the new office?
17 King Edward Street, near St. Paul's.
Ma'am, can we look around this office? My father never got a chance to pack up his things.
Sure, I'll go get it.
Mr. Holmes, you may be brilliant about clues and such, but you could learn more about how people work.
It may have worked this time, but you can go off through these information, Wiggins.
You won't let us do anything. You think we're just children.
Let's continue the search while the trail is hot.
What's up, Hey?
A shilling each.
And again, my who brings back an important clue.
Yes. George, you go to King Edward Street and find out what you can about William Morris.
That address is surely there.
Like it. Let's make sure. Lucy and Toby, you ask around this neighborhood and see if you can find out anything about Mr. Duncan Ross.
Aye, Mr. Holmes.
And Oliver, you see if you can get any more information from the landlady.
What about me, Mrs. Holmes?
You're going with us to the pawn shop. We're going to investigate your sister's sport.
We meet back in Edward Square at the end of the day. Welcome to my square, Mr. Holmes.
This is for your bootleg.
It's where we work. Lots of kind folk are willing to give a shilling to a poor orphan.
Or too distracted to notice that your pocket's picked.
There's Coral Branch of the City Bank. There's Martinez the Tobacconist. There's Corbett Square Market. Got lots of fat geese for Christmas right now. And there's Mr. Wilson's pawn shop.
Where we'll find suspicious Vincent's fault. Mr. Wilson's assistant accounts for a good deal of this mystery of the League of Red-Headed Gentlemen.
Why are you capturing the pavements?
Now is the time for listening and observation begins, not for talk. We are spies in the enemy's country.
I'll go talk to Mary, the cleaning girl. Afternoon, Mary.
Afternoon, Wiggins. Which job are you staring at today?
Not me, Mary. I'm as innocent as a baby.
And I'm the Queen of England.
Got any spell for you today?
Not today, Wiggins.
Does your sister need until Miss Wilson touches? Is he?
Nothing like that. Wiggins is honest and all.
Not as proud looking as you, Mary.
He works hard enough when Mr. Wilson's here.
And when Mr. Wilson is out,
And he spends all his time in the basement.
what is he doing?
Reading
Mr. Photos. Is he really a photographer? Yes. He took a portrait of me, said it was a diamond in the rough. My first photo. You fancy him? Nah. Well, with that face? The scar on his forehead was from acid splash from his last shot. His last boss was awful. That's why he was so eager to come here. Did I notice his ears were pierced? He told me Duke had done it for him when he was a lad. You have strange taste in lads, Mary. Well, unlike you, he's very refined and kind and polite. And unlike you, I have a job and I'd better get back to it. Save it to spread for me tomorrow. We'll see.
Well done, Wiggins.
That information has confirmed the seriousness of the situation.
I'll go talk to Vincent's woman now.
No, Wiggins.
Why not?
You are known here. This interview is for me to make.
Come in, fine sir.
Thank you. I only wish to know who you go from here to the Strand.
Third right, fourth left.
Much obliged.
You call that an interview?
Holmes merely wanted to see him.
Not him.
Then what?
The knees of Spaulding's trousers.
What did you say?
What I expected to see.
Hey, Wiggins.
What did you find out?
Office number 4 is completely cleaned out. And no one on the other street has ever heard of anyone that lost a street anywhere in the neighborhood. What about you, Lucy and Toby? Did you have any luck? Look like the cat who caught the canary. Did you find Mr. Ross?
No,
We found several people who recognized him.
and I've seen him going in and out of Mr. Wilson's pawn shop. Going in at 10 a.m. and leaving at 2 p.m.
Excellent work, all of you. A shilling as payment for your assistance, and a guinea to both Lucy and Toby.
So, what does all this mean?
That we are dealing with the fourth smartest person in London and the third most
It
dangerous.
is a master criminal. You have dealt with him before?
Our paths have crossed before.
But what about the League of Red-Haired Gentlemen? It has dissolved. Are we too late?
I believe we shall still be in time to stop it.
What right?
No. This will require stealth and a large number in our party to compromise the situation.
Huh?
If Mr. Thomas doesn't stop running, be too loud.
Thank you for all the help. Honestly, there's now time to call in the police.
Well, you know where to find us again, Mr. Holmes, if you need our help.
Are you coming, Wiggins?
No, the lesson isn't over.
Wiggins, we will see you tomorrow. It's too dangerous for you.
No, I'm seeing this through to the conclusion.
Sherlock Holmes, please tell Wiggins it's too dangerous.
I can be quiet. I'm going.
This will be dangerous, Wiggins.
Sell some on the street. I own this. I could go with you or continue on my own.
Do you promise to do what we tell you to do?
Do you promise to treat me like your apprentice, not a little child?
Yes. You're proving your talents. Can you follow directions now?
Yes.
Very well. Meet us back here at 9 o'clock tonight. Our party is complete for tonight's adventure. Mr. Merriweather, thank you for letting us into your benefit.
I hope a wild goose will not prove to be the end of our chase. I hope so too. I should be finding the Countess of Morcar's blue carbuncle.
The Countess is what?
Blue carbuncle, an exceptionally rare and valuable jewel. There's quite a bit of pressure to solve that case.
Mr. Sherlock Holmes and I will find that man's lady's blue stone before you.
Who is this street urchin?
May I introduce my young apprentice, Wiggins?
Inspector, if you have more important things to do and I have more important things to do, then why are we here? Mr. Merriweather, Mr. Holmes has own fantastic wit methods, which are sometimes fruitful. He's occasionally a help to Scotland Yard.
He's 10 times the detective you are.
I would rather be playing my evening poker game.
Mr. Merriweather, the stakes you play for tonight are higher than any other before. The stakes are some £30,000.
You think to be attempted bank robbery tonight?
I am sure of it.
I assure you our bank vault is secure,
You are not very vulnerable from above, I agree.
nor from below. Why, dear me, it sounds quite hollow.
I really must ask you to be quiet. Sit down upon one of those boxes and do not interfere.
I'm not used to being ordered about my own bank.
You don't want to tip off the thieves, sir.
Remember, Wiggins, when thieves get here, stay hidden. They will be desperate.
Holmes, who do you think is behind this possible crime?
Joan Clay, thief, smasher, and forger.
Joan Clay?
Had it for profession despite being so young. Her grandfather was a worldview. She was one of the first women to ever attend Oxford College. Her brain is as cunning as her fingers.
There. I thought we were expecting Baron Spalding and Mr. Duncan Ross.
Inspector, why are they after this vault? It is very obvious, but I'll let Holmes tell you.
The French gold, Mr. Merriweather.
French gold? We borrowed 30,000 Napoleons from the Bank of France.
The crate Mr. Merriweather sits on right now contains 2,000 gold coins by itself.
How did you know this, Mr. Holmes?
I make it my business to know what is happening in the city that may attract the criminal element.
It's on for you, Archie. Hand me the chisel in the bags.
Great Scott!
Through filthy hands. You may not be aware that I have royal blood in my veins. It's no use, Joan Clay. You have no chance at all. When you address me, always say ma'am and please. Joan Clay, alias Vincent Spalding and Archie Underwood, alias Duncan Ross, alias William Morris. You both are under arrest for attempted bank robbery. I should have dove back down the hole instead of fighting you.
We had 3 inspectors waiting at the pawn shop if you had tried.
Oh, indeed. It seems you have done this thing very completely. I must compliment you. Inspector Lestrade always gets his man. Or women.
I must compliment you, Clay. Your red-headed idea was very effective.
If you please, ma'am, march upstairs so we can lead your highness to the police station.
That is better.
Really, Mr. Holmes? I do not know how the bank can thank you or repay you.
My pleasure, Mr. Merriweather.
Are you all right, Wiggins?
She's going to shoot me.
You're going to have to trust us. When we tell you to stay back, it's not because we think you're a child, it's for your safety.
Thank you, Dr. Watson, for saving my life.
You are welcome.
So, are we going to start trying to find out the fancy lady who is stone?
Well, I appreciate your enthusiasm, young Wiggins. Simple thefts like that do not hold interest for me. Tomorrow morning, we will resume your training.
Wiggins, you are only surely not done with your lessons already.
I've been waiting for Mrs. Hudson.
Perhaps you went out her Monday shopping and lost track of time.
So, can we start my next lesson? How'd you know Ross was going to rob the bank?
It's elementary, Wiggins. Each clue leads to a deduction. The only possible object of the red-headed gentleman must have been to be the pawnbroker out of their way each day.
And the league closing told you that the tenor was done?
A critical mistake that led to their downfall. I also knew that they were digging a tunnel because of the muddy leaves on Clay's trousers. I knew she and her accomplice were digging a tunnel.
And you tapped on the cobblestones on the street to see that the tunnel led to the bank?
The unlikely tale of Pierce's ears led me to know that we were dealing with a woman. The acid splash on Clay's face is a distinctive trait. She covers with makeup, but it was observed by a smitten young man. I believe that will be Miss Hudson now, with an exciting tale about her morning, if I'm not mistaken.
Holmes, you will not believe the morning I've had.
Do you have a problem while you're shopping for the holiday bowl?
That is just it, Dr. Watson. I wasn't shopping for a goose today.
Mrs. Hudson was returning from the market on Tottenham Court Road when she came across this goose and hat on St. George Street.
Mr. Holmes, how could you have known?
You always go to that market on Mondays because the vegetable seller flirts with you.
That's why you bounce your step and flushing your cheeks every day on Mondays.
You have reddish mud on your shoes. On St. George Street, they've taken up the pavement. You can't cross without stepping in the mud.
There are no secrets in this house. Yes, I was on St. George Street and I ran into a knot of us causing problems there.
Not my gang.
I saw a tallish man turning the corner when he was surrounded by the troublemaker.
What a nice looking bird you got there.
Excuse me, but that is my family.
We're just looking at it.
Unless you'd like to give to those less fortunate than you.
Please may I have the bird back?
I think we're going to be keeping it. You're so property, mister.
The police will not be happy with you. Now you ruffians leave this gentleman alone. Wait, don't you wear your goose and hat?
Now why did the man run away from you?
You're quite intimidating, Mrs. Hudson. No offense intended.
Mr. Holmes, I would appreciate your help in returning the bird to its rightful owner.
The card on the bird says for Mrs. Henry Baker. There must be hundreds of Henry Bakers in London. Even if you could find the right Mr. Henry Baker, this bird is no longer to be redeemed. It seems we shall have an early Christmas feast, Mrs. Hudson.
Wiggins, you can come down and help me dress the bird.
Not yet, Mrs. Hudson. I'd like Wiggins to stay, to see if she can try and figure out who the owner of the hat is.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Do you think we can find him based on this hat?
It shall be a good test for you, Lemon Wiggins. Tell me what you see.
This hat is exceedingly dusty. There's grey mud hair stuck to the lining. There's watermark, and there's watermarks where he has sweat water.
What can we infer as to the individuality of the man who has worn this article?
He's middle-aged since the hair's grey and black, and he got his hair cut at the barber recently, so he's middle class.
Good. And the sweat stains?
He's not in good shape.
Yes. Likely very sedentary. How is his home life?
I'm not sure,
We can infer that his wife ceases to love him.
because he's so dusty.
No wife would ever let her husband go outside with a week's worth of dust on her hat. A rather ingenious lesson, but it seems it has been a waste of time, because there was no harm done, save the loss of a goose.
The goose, Mr. Holmes, the goose, sir.
What of it? Have they returned to life and flapped through the kitchen window?
Look at what I found in the net.
You have found the Countess of Morcar's blue carbine.
We have found the fancy lady's blue stain.
This is quite a treasure trove indeed. The reward for finding it is £1,000, which is certainly not within a 20th of the market price.
£1,000?
Great Lord of mercy.
Now I'm intrigued by this mystery. Watson, read the article on the Hotel Cosmopolitan robbery.
James Ryder, upper attendant at the hotel, told the police he was working in the room of the Countess on the day of the robbery.
May I help you? My name's John Cannon. You call for Cannon? Yes, the seat is there. What are you walking on? The second bar on the grave is loose. Everything must be perfect for the Countess. I forgot one of my tools. I'll be right back. Of course.
She left the plumber alone in the room?
He soon discovered his mistake after he returned Mr. Countess's handmaiden.
Based on the testimony of James Ryder and the Countess maid Catherine, John Horner was arrested that night.
Thank you for helping me carry these packages, Mr. Ryder.
That's my job, miss.
We can put them down here.
Horner! You still here? The bureau, the Countess is stone! The plumber took it. I'll sound the alarm!
It is possible that inquiry may not confirm his guilt, but it may provide his innocence. One mistake is not condemned before eternity.
Now we must find Mr. Baker and discover what part he played in this mystery.
How will you find him?
Watson, take this down. An article in the Globe, Star, St. James, Evening News Standard, Echo, and any others that occur to you. Black felt hat in use found at the corner of St. George and Manchester Street. Mr. Baker can have the same by applying to 221B Baker Street.
I shall go at once.
Fine goose, Wiggins. We must have one to give to Mr. Baker as a replacement for the one we shall be eating tonight.
Yes, sir.
Now all we can do is wait for Mr. Henry Baker. Yes, Miss Watson?
Mr. Henry Baker to see you.
How can we help you?
I'm responding to the advertisement in the newspaper.
Of course. Is this your hat?
That is undoubtedly my hat.
Unfortunately, we were compelled to eat the bird.
Eat it?
It would have been of no use to anyone had we not done so.
I presume that this other bird upon the desk, which is not the same weight and perfectly fresh, will answer your purpose equally well.
Oh, certainly, certainly.
Of course, we still have the legs, feathers, crop, and so on of the bird. So if you wish...
They might be useful to me as well as to my adventure, but beyond that, I can hardly see what use they would be. I think I'll just take that excellent bird on the desk.
Then there is your hat, and there is your bird. By the way, would it bore you to tell me where you got the other goose from? I am somewhat of a fowl fancier, and I have seldom seen a better bird.
Certainly, sir. I got it in Colbrook Square Market from Mr. Breckenridge.
Coburg Square Market?
Yes, I am much indebted to you.
So much for Mr. Baker. It is quite certain he knows nothing whatever of the matter.
Our trail takes us to Coburg Square Market with Mr. Breckenridge.
What can you tell me about him?
Breckenridge is tough and grumpy, suspicious too.
Did you try to steal one of his geese?
Maybe, but we weren't successful. He does like to pet though. Margaret knows that.
He will know your gang, Wiggins.
But we have proof and we can get information.
We'll work together and use all of our strengths and the element of surprise.
Now, did you steal a goose on St. John's Road?
What?
Did you jump a globe to steal a goose yesterday?
No.
Good.
We didn't. You had no problem stealing food before.
Only because we didn't have other ways to earn money. And we never hurt anyone. What case are you working on today?
A robbery, and our trail has led us to the Coburg Square Market and Mr. Breckenridge.
We need him to tell us who he sold the boat to our friend Henry Baker.
Be ready in case the first attempt doesn't go out.
Good evening. So the geese I see. We would like to know where you sold the boat to our good friend Henry Baker.
I shan't tell you.
I don't know why you should be warm over shirts, Sophie.
Warm. You'd be warm even if you were as festive as I am. Where are the geese then? Who did you sell the geese to? One would think they were the only geese in the world.
We didn't know anything about anybody else talking to you. Papa just wanted to win his bet.
Bet?
My papa bet my uncle and father that the goose we at Mr. Baker's house was country bred.
You lost your fire for its town bred.
If my papa says the goose was country bred, then it is country bred. Right, Papa?
That's right. You think you know more about fowls than me? I tell you, the bird was town bred.
You never persuade me of that.
Give me back my scarf. I want it, I take it. Boy, give me back my scarf. My brother.
That was quite effective. According to the ledger, the goose sold on December 15th came from Mrs. Oakshott at 117 Brixton Road. You children stay here and ask around. Find out if you can get a description of them or any other details. We'll meet back here at 221B Baker Street.
Who just sold the geese to? You have to tell us. If you come pestering me anymore with your silly talk, I'll set the dog at you.
One of those geese was mine.
And ask Miss Oakshott for it.
She told me to ask you.
You can ask the King of Prussia for all I care. I've had enough of it.
What do we do now? We have to find it and return it.
It's gone. It's gone. There's nothing we can do.
We're going to get caught, I know it.
Nobody suspects anything.
Let's just get out of London.
That would be suspicious.
I don't want to have our baby in jail.
It does sound like criminals. I feel bad for what they did.
You feel bad because they think they're going to get caught.
I believe them.
I don't. Holmes.
If they do, they'll be arrested and put in jail.
If we want to be paid, we need to take them to Sherlock.
If we do, they'll be arrested. The baby will be punished for something we didn't do.
If we do nothing and innocent folk will go to jail.
What do we do, Wiggins? We don't know all the answers to the mystery. We take them to Sherlock Holmes.
Do you trust Mr. Holmes?
I'm not sure yet, but I don't know what else to do. Excuse me, but we cannot help but overhear your heroic Breckenridge just now. And I may be of assistance for you.
You? How do you know anything of the matter?
Oh, I know nothing, ma'am. I'm just a street urchin, but I know a man who could help you.
What? A policeman?
No, I hate the police. I just happen to know another man who is tracking down, who is trying to track down the goose sold by Mrs. Oakshott.
Mrs. Oakshott? That's what I heard. We street urchins hear things.
Do you know what this man is?
I think so.
We'll give you a sovereign if you take us to him.
Follow me.
Excuse me, Mr. Holmes, but you have visitors. How can we help?
I overheard this man and woman looking for a goose stolen by Mr. Breckenridge.
What do you know about the matter?
You are looking for a white bird with a black bar on the tail from Mrs. Oakshott of Brixton Road. Who sold it to Mr. Breckenridge? Who sold it to Mr. Henry Baker? Who gave me the bird?
You are the man I have longed to meet.
Thank you, Miss Hudson.
Who are you and how do you know so much about it?
My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my colleague Watson. We make it our business to know what other people don't know.
And who do we have the pleasure of assisting?
My name is John Robinson. This is my sister Mary.
No, the real names. It is always awkward when doing business with an alias.
Oh, he works at the Hotel Cosmopolitan. Or at least he has keys to the hotel.
Ah, then you must be the head attendant, Mr. James Ryder. And you must be his wife, Catherine Wingate, the handmaiden of the Countess of Morcar.
Wife, how do you know? We've kept it a secret.
I simply observed the gold wedding ring and keep talking to your clothes. And despite your best attempts to hide it, your pregnancy is obvious to the trained eye.
We just want our goose back.
A most remarkable bird it was. It laid an egg after it was dead. The bonniest, brightest little blue egg that ever was seen.
The gates are wider, Miss Wingate.
For God's sake, have mercy!
Think of my mother. It would break her heart.
Why did you do it?
The sudden temptation of wealth was too much. I never went wrong before. I never will again.
Me either, I swear it. Oh, don't bring it into court.
Tell us a true account of the story, but only in the truth lies your only hope of safety.
It's my fault, Mr. Holmes. I was looking at my mistress' jewel and gave in to temptation.
James, you startled me. What are you looking so guilty for?
Nothing.
Taking things that don't belong to you?
No, just looking.
Think of everything this could buy for a baby.
I could never take it. The Countess would immediately suspect her chambermaid.
Unless you had a witness that swore you didn't take it.
Could he swear someone else did?
Someone with a past. Like our new plumber. I think there's a problem with the sink. I'll make sure the plumber is here alone in this room this afternoon.
We can enter together and discover the missing
But
stone.
we have to make sure we're not caught with it.
We can't hide the stone in the hotel.
I can visit my sister.
The one with the flock of geese, she'll hide it.
What if our geese will? She has set aside a Christmas goose for you. Reach for the goose and hide it in its gullet.
Are you sure?
What can go wrong?
You soon discovered you took the wrong bird for Mrs. Oakshott. There were two geese with a black bar on the tail.
We went back to his sister.
But they already sold the rest of Breckenridge.
Well, we caught up with you.
I swear we were trying to find the goose to return it. We regretted it the moment we stole it. You framed an innocent man.
We will fly, Mr. Holmes. We will leave the country, sir. And then the charges against him will break down. God help us!
Go.
What?
Take your wife and get out.
Oh, heaven bless you!
No more words! Get out!
You are letting the two thieves escape.
I'm not retained by the police to supply their deficiencies. If Horner were in danger, it would be another thing. These two will not appear against him, and the case must collapse.
Is it possible that we are saving two souls? They've gone terribly wrong. Send them to jail now and be jailed for life.
How do you know they won't steal again?
We don't know, Wiggins. We can just observe and deduce.
And sometimes we need trust.
You've been a great help on this case, Wiggins. I decided to continue to hire you for assistance.
Well, Mr. Holmes, you have proven you aren't a puppet of the police. So I have agreed to keep working for you. Only if you hire me and all my gang.
Agreed, Wiggins.
Yes, Miss Hudson?
Did you solve the case, Mr. Holmes? That we did, Mrs. Hudson, with the great assistance of young Wiggins.
Then Wiggins should stay for our holiday feast. There'll be plenty of food for all.
Boy, come on up.
Who is coming up? The whole gaggle?
You did say there'd be plenty of food for all.
And 'tis the season.
The last thing we need here is a whole knot of street urchins.
We found a lady and man out of here.
They look relieved. Did I escape them yet?
You let them go. Hopefully they won't go wrong again.
And thanks to you lot, an innocent man will be released from prison.
I knew we could find Sherlock Holmes. Holmes. Of course we can trust him. He's our boss.
Really?
Thank you, sir.
You're all forgot it, Mr. Holmes.
Tis hard enough keeping this flat clean with Mr. Holmes' mess. The last thing we need here is these Baker Street irregulars stirring up the place even more.
Baker Street regulars, I like it.
Look at your hands. All of your irregulars need to wash before you eat.
Somebody doesn't want us here.
My fellow detectives, you must learn to observe and deduce. To my trained eye, Mrs. Hudson just wants to look.
Not with your dirty hands. Oh, my poor apron.
Ha ha ha.